So today's lesson, calculating the surface area of a cuboid, all right? So copy that down, press play when you're ready. Okay, so surface area, we're only concentrating on cuboids today, all right? So there's a diagram of a cuboid there for you. Cuboid is a 3D rectangle. It's a box, a serial box, if that's what you want to say, okay? So to calculate the surface area of a cuboid, we need to find the area of each 2D face and then just add them together for the total, all right? And it's a really easy topic because all of the faces of a cuboid are rectangles, right? So although on the diagram you can't see every face, imagine you've got a serial box in front of you, all right? There are 6 faces. There's a front and a back, there's a left and a right, there's a top and a bottom, okay? So although we can only see the 3 of them here, if I was to sort of do some extra lines here, we'd be able to see what I'm talking about. So you've got a front and a back, you've got a left and a right, and you've got a top and a bottom, okay? And we all know that to do the area of a rectangle, it's just length times width. So we're doing the area of 6 separate rectangles and adding the answers together, all right? So it's really not that complicated. All right, so on to some examples then. Press pause, copy this down, press play when you're ready. Okay, so welcome back. I'm going to only do 2 examples with you. So this first one, I'm going to do the long method for the first one, okay? And I'm going to show you a slightly faster method afterwards. All right, so remember what I said about a serial box. If you've got one in front of you or whatever, it's got a front and a back, okay? The front and the back are the same. It's got a left and a right, they're the same. It's got a top and a bottom, they're the same, okay? So the long method of working this out, I'm going to show you first of all, is we're going to work out the area of all 6 different surfaces, okay? And then we're going to add them together afterwards. All right, so we've got front, back, left, right, top, and bottom. Okay, so I'll do them in different colors on the diagram to hopefully help you see it better. All right, so the front is just this flat 2D rectangle that I'm shading at the front here, okay? So area of a rectangle, remember, it's just length times width. The length and the width of that rectangle should be easy to see that it's 3 times 6, okay? 3 sixes are 18. Units are in meters squared, because they're in meters already. Area is always squared, okay? So now the good thing about the back, we already know it's just the same. So I'm not going to write 3 times 6 again. It's a waste of time. I know that the back is the same as the front, 18 meters squared. Okay, right, left and right then. Okay, doing a different color, make it easier to follow. So we'll do green. So I'm talking about this side here now that I'm shading in green. So I just want the area of that 2D green rectangle. Okay, we're obviously going to use the number 2 here because that distance there is 2, look. And then this height, okay, is 3. Because if it's 3 on this side, it's got to be 3 on this side as well. Okay, so that's 2 times 3. So we all know it's 6. And let's put meters squared on the end. And again, the other side is exactly the same, so I'm not going to rewrite it. I know that it's 6. Okay, then the top and the bottom, do this in blue. So this top section here, just going to shade that in. I want the area of that flat blue rectangle. Okay, so this side here, look, that has to be 2 because the bottom was 2, and then this distance here that I'm drawing on now, this line has to be 6 because the bottom part was 6. All right, so 2 times 6. We all know that's 12 meters squared. The other one is 12 for the bottom as well. Okay, so really easy. We can all multiply. We know that it's length times width. So we've done the 3 faces that we can see now, and we've written down that the 3 faces we can't see are the same size as well. So we want the total surface area, okay? So all we're going to do now is just add the values together. So I'm going to write total SA for surface area, and I've set them out on top of each other, so you can just use a column method if you need to. Okay, so I think the first column is 32. So carry the 2 over, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so total surface area of that cuboid is 72 meters squared. All right, it's meters because that's what the units are in the question, and it's squared because we're doing area. All right, so even though it's a 3D shape, we're working out the area. So it's got to be squared. All right. So that's a long method. I'm going to show you now one more example with a slightly different, quicker method. All right, but you do whatever you like. So pause this one, copy the diagram down, and press play when you're ready, please. All right, welcome back. So for this one, I'm only actually going to work out the three sides that we can see. All right, so I'm going to do front, side, and top. All right, because then I'm going to add the numbers together, and then I'm going to multiply by 2 afterwards. We'll get the same answer. Okay, so it's an easy topic once you know what you're doing, because like I've already discussed with you, it's just some rectangles. Find an area of rectangles is simple. So the way that you can get caught out in a test is sometimes when the units are different. So for this question, I'm not just going to go straight into doing the front and the side and the top, because I want us to look at the units. Got 15 centimeters there, 3 centimeters there, and 50 millimeters. All right. So my advice is always look at the question first, look at the units, make sure they're the same. In this case, they're not. Yeah. So metric conversions, we need to remember these types of things. All right, and we'll keep going over them as much as possible until we remember them. So we need to remember the 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. So where this says 50 millimeters at the bottom here, that's actually 5 centimeters. Okay, because 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters, so 5 centimeters is 50. So when we come now to doing the front and the side and the top, we're not going to use the number 50, we're using the 5. Okay, and then we just do the multiplying. So the front is this front rectangle here that I'm shading in red, look. All right, so length times width is 5 times by 15. Okay, 5 times 10 is 50, 5 times 5 is 25, add them together, it's 75 centimeters squared this time. All right, then we'll do the side. So the side is this rectangle here in green, look, just the 2D part. So that's 15 times by 3. Okay, 10 times 3, 5 times 3. Put them together, 45 centimeters squared. And then the top is the section that we haven't done yet. So the blue part that I'm shading now, look. So this side must be 5, this side must be 3. So 5 times 3, 15 centimeters squared. Okay, and if you're doing it this way, make sure you don't forget now about multiplying by 2. Okay, because what we're going to do is add these numbers together, and then we know whatever that answer is, it's the same answer again for the back and for the other side that we haven't done yet, and for the bottom. Okay, so we got 5, 10, 15 here, look, carry the 1, and 7 plus 4 plus 1 plus another 1 should give us 13. Okay, 7 plus 4 is 11, plus another 1 is 12, plus another 1 is 13. Okay, so the 3 sides that we can see add up to 135 centimeters squared. We need to double it for the total surface area. Yeah. So if you're doing it this way, that's fine, but make sure you don't forget about the multiplying by 2 part at the end, because I've seen lots of people do that before. Okay, so double that answer. 100 times 2 is 200, 35 times 2 is 70, so 270 centimeters squared. All right, so really simple. So get that copied down, and then main task is coming next. Okay, so for the main task now, all right, press pause, have a go at them. When you're ready for the answers, obviously press play. Okay, welcome back then. So answers for these. Just showing you here, look. Okay, so questions A to D should be pretty straightforward, all right? For question E, the units are slightly different, so change them. Okay. Actually think that this should be in centimeters. Let me change that. That's my bad. Okay, because what I did for this one is I said that this was 1 centimeter here, look. I said this was 50 centimeters, and I said this was 5 centimeters. All right, you'll get a slightly different answer if you didn't use centimeters, obviously. And then question F, I didn't give you a diagram. I told you it was a cube. Okay, so a cube is basically a 3D square. So all I've said is the sides have a length of 5 meters. Okay, so it's still got 6 faces, a cube, but difference is all 6 of the faces are the same. Okay, so for this one, what I did was for one face, the area of one face is 5 times 5, which is 25 meters squared. Okay, so just the area of the square is 25, and then there's 6 of them, so 25 times by 6 is why the answer is 150. Okay, right, on to the checking question then. So, pause the video, copy this down, have a go, press play when you're ready. All right, welcome back there. So this one's slightly different now because it says the surface area of the cuboid is 470. Calculate the missing side that's labeled as X. So we're working backwards. All right, I'm telling you what the total surface area is. You've got to work out what the missing value is. There's a few different ways that you can attempt this question, but the best way that I would do it is like so. All right. So first of all, you know that you're going to do 8 times x at some point, 8 times 5 at some point, and 5 times x at some point. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is the 8 times by 5. Okay, so that's basically this side, isn't it? This side is 8 times 5. Yeah, all right, which is 40 meters squared. That means that the other side is 40 as well. Okay, so the total for those two sides is 80 meters squared, yeah? So the side that we can't see on the left, that's also 80, that's also 40, sorry. Okay, that means now whatever's left over, okay, we can help us to work out what x is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the 80 that we know, that we've just worked out, away from the 470 in total, okay, which is 390 meters squared. So what we've got left now, after taking that 80 away, is 390, right? So a little bit of algebra involved in this one. What we would be doing for the front, right? If we were working out the front here, we would be doing 8 times by x, but then doubling it because the back was the same as well. So 8 times by x is 8x. And if you double that, you get 16x. Okay? So the front and the back together give you 16x. Okay? If I was doing the top now, so if we have a look at the top here, if I was working out the top for that area, I would do 5 times x. But then I would do the same for the bottom, wouldn't I? So if I've got 5 times x, and I've got another 5 times x, and in total that's 10x. Okay. So this 16x here, look, that's for the front and the back. This 10x here is for the top and the bottom. And those two together now we know is going to give us 390. Okay. So collect these together now, 16x plus 10x is actually 26x. So we're saying 26x equals 390. So 26 times by something is 390. All right. It looks worse than it is. Just do the first step method quickly. 390 divided by 26 should give you 15. All right, which means the answer for x is 15. All right, so it's working backwards a little bit. If you want to check that answer now, check to see whether this is right for 15. Okay, 8 times 5 is 40. Okay, all right, plus another 40 is 80. Okay, so that would be the two sides. Then we've got 5 times 15 is 75, plus another 75 is 150. Yeah, and then 8 times 15 is 120. So double that is 240. Hopefully now, if we add these together, 0 there. Oops. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Hang on. Okay. Here we get 17. Carry the 1. Here we get 4. Okay. So that answer there, look, is the same as that one there. So 15 is most definitely the answer. All right.